What's going on, everybody? I just wanted to do a quick video and wanted to give some shout outs to some really good channels that I've been watching lately, and just give them some love. So check out these channels. If you dig it, subscribe. I would appreciate it. I'm sure they would too. First off, Epic Zombie Killer. It's a great channel. He shows off a lot of movies, DVDs, Walking Dead stuff. He reviews the Walking Dead episodes. What's up, Aaron? How you doing? How's that helmet coming? But Epic Zombie Killer, like I say, check him out. I'll leave some links below to these channels. Hey, Lyricide17, what's up, Travis? Hope you're doing well too, man. I'm just doing some channel shout outs, and so while I'm here, Aaron Garrison, Lyricide17, two great channels I don't think I've ever shouted out before, so check them out as well. And the Gray Man. I'm new to the Gray Man's channel, but shows a lot of stuff. I just watched his last video. He got a friend of his who's in like a grindcore band, gave him his comic collection. So, bam. Hey, Metarog, what's going on, man? Another great channel. Yeah, I may have, Travis, but it doesn't hurt to shout it out again because you have a great channel. By the way, I don't know if you saw my last one, but I got the new Ancient Empire. It's great. And yeah, Aaron, you'll get that going, man. For everybody watching, what's up, TJ Watson, DJ High Noon, what's up, sexy? For everybody watching, Aaron Garrison is he's got a. He'll have to tell you more in detail about it, but he is reconditioning a helmet from the World War II, I think. So, yeah. He gave you that many comics, Gray Man? You got to do like 3 videos? Holy cow. Oh, it's a M40 German helmet. So, hey, Roger, I just saw you. Jolly Roger, another good channel. Good dude. Love him. I love all you guys. And gals. There's no gals here yet, I don't think. But I do love some other channels. But so getting back to my shout outs before I forget. Who was that? Who did I just do? Epic Zombie Killer again. Great channel. Lots of Walking Dead stuff. Check him out. Also want to give a shout out to Funkoff, good friend of mine. Has some great stuff. Flash Gordon's one record at a time. How you doing, brother? You get hugs back, DJ High Noon, my 80s music companion. But Funkoff, lots of comic stuff. He knows his stuff about comics. I love watching his videos as well. So check out Funkoff. Pages, Plastics, and I'll have the full name down in the list. Pages, Plastics, and Films, I think, maybe. I don't know if I got all that right. But, yeah, thank you, Metarog. Pages, Plastics, and Films. What's up, Jason? Get into it. Jason's the man to go to for all your hardcore needs. Big fan of New York hardcore punk. Has a freaking amazing collection. So I could just give shout outs to everybody as they pop up. It's probably easier. But Funkoff, Pages, Plastics, and Films, the Epic Zombie Killer, great channels, man. And like I've mentioned, as some of these pop up, I'm lucky to have so many great people in both the comics and music communities. So everybody check each other out. How's that? Mark G with a C, or is it Mark C with a G? Anyway, great channel. This is more about, he's a big fan, just like me, of 80s thrash, and he shows music off. It's another great channel. Darcy, 6 String 9 Lives, another great channel. I've got to watch your latest video, but from the thumbnail, it looks like you got a heck of a haul, including that overkill. So I haven't watched it yet, but I will. But hey, what's up, Brian? How you doing, brother? Hey, it's What Lurks on Channel X, my brother from another mother. Love that guy, Chris Hansen. If you don't know him, he's here. Some really great dudes in here, man. I'm impressed. I think I might have had like 3. I don't do a whole lot of live stuff, but I think that's the most I ever got was maybe 3. So I wasn't used to everybody popping up. Yeah. So Marcy. And I was actually going to do Darcy. But he's here. So everybody subscribe to Darcy. He's been around now a little bit, but I don't think I ever did a shout out. And I really enjoy his videos. And just like a lot of you, we have great dialogue back and forth. All you comic guys, if you're not subscribed to What Lurks on Channel X, do yourself a favor, subscribe to him. Great guy. He likes his heavy metal, but he's showing a lot of comics, kind of like me now. And he's a cool cat. He used to tour. He was the drum tech for Anthrax. So, yeah, man. So, yeah, I'm just, let me read through here. Yeah, the good thing about all of you is most of you guys can talk and you know your stuff, and I'm impressed by you. I'm new to the comics game, but I've been in the metal since the mid-'80s, thrash since '88. Was into some just regular heavy metal except Iron Maiden because of my brother. So in the '80s, it was more heavy metal because I was a kid. And then I got Injustice for All, and it was over. It was thrash. Hey, Comics with Bueller! It's my man right there. Hey, it's the Great Legend shows on here. I can't believe how many people are on here. I've never had this many people, dude. I feel like a homecoming king right now, and it's all because of you guys. So, man, this makes it a whole lot easier. I can just say, hey, everybody, subscribe to each other in chat. Some of my friends do comics, some of you guys do metal, some do a little bit of both, but like I say, all great guys, and I learn a lot from each and every one of you, and enjoy. Hey, thanks, Travis, I appreciate that. So yeah, you guys, it's cool, man. It really is, because like a lot of you, well, I don't say like a lot of you, I live in the country, and like a lot of you, I don't have a lot of friends that are into heavy metal, especially me being older now, or comics with me being older now. So it's great to come talk to you guys and gals, if there's any gals in here, about everything. Matt Hayes is here. Matt Hayes. Matt is another good guy. I enjoy talking to him. Friends on Facebook. I'm friends with Facebook with a lot of you guys. If you're on Facebook and you want to subscribe to me, I'm Christopher Farley Simmons, S-I-M-M-O-N-S. The Farley is my nickname. It's not my real middle name. It's my nickname from college, so everybody calls me Farley around here. So, Dolphin Dale's in the house. Look at all these people. Oh, yeah. I don't know if I can move the camera too much here, but yeah, that's the Ewok Village. I'm going to do a new, here's the camera. I'm going to do a new room tour soon, so you should see it a little bit better. But yeah, I got the Ewok Village. I'm only missing the rails. I've got one set of rails, but there's 2 more that go on the edge, and it'll be completely complete. Completely complete. I've got Millennium Falcon too. Hey, Tillman Comics is here! Holy cow, what a great, raining on your parade! Holy cow! What a great group of people, man. I'm stoked. If you can't tell, I'm stoked that you're all here. I was just going to get on to a 2-minute video and be done. Now I want to talk. You know what else I had, Legend? I'll show it later in another video. I've got the original Millennium Falcon 100% complete. It took me a while to put that together, but I got it. Put this together, you know, from different parts. Well, original parts, but from different people. Took me a while to do it. But I had, back in the day when I was a kid, speaking of Santa Claus, I had an uncle that worked at Pepsi, right? And he was kind of like a big shot. Not in the, just a big shot here in Georgia. He was, I don't know. He was over like a whole region or whatever. I don't know what he was. But he got me Optimus Prime back in 85, 86. An Optimus Prime Pepsi model. So it was the regular Optimus Prime, but it had Pepsi on the sides. And yeah, I still got the RoboCop stuff, Jason. So anyway, something happened to it over the years. Now, the other day, well, it's probably been a little while, a couple months ago, I went on and looked, and that thing's like $2,000. I don't know what I did with it, dude, but it was very limited. There was only so many made, and I want to say most of them went to people that worked at Pepsi. You could buy them, you know, through like a catalog or something if you were an employee. And I had one, and man, that thing's going for bank now. What I said, let me get caught up here. You want a comic? I just did my most recent upload. Here's two of my favorites right now. Venom, by the way, is great, and A Walk Through Hell's great, but they're in another room. But if you're not reading Elric and you're a fan of fantasy, do yourself a favor, pick this up. Elric the White Wolf. It's number 2 just came out yesterday, so you can get caught up easy. Hey, see you, Roger. Love you, brother. And then I don't know when the next one of these is coming out, but Cemetery Beach. Now, to be honest with you, I don't know a lot about what's going on, but it captivated me. Like when I got to the end, it's a cliffhanger, and I'm like, well, I got to pick up number 2. But I thought this was well done. It's got me stoked. It's got me interested to see where it's going. New Punishers that are coming out. This is number 2. There's only 2 of these. These have been great. He's going after Hydra after he got fooled. So that's great. This is a new series from Kirkman from The Walking Dead. Die. It's out. Number 3 of these out. All right. Let me go through here. Oh, yeah. I've got to go back and get some of those Elrics. So, yeah, so you know what I'm talking about, Jason. When you've got somebody that's employed at a company, I don't know if they still do it, but back in the day, they would put out, you know, merchandise with their logos on it. And like I say, I got lucky and got an Optimus Prime Pepsi. And man, if I knew then what I know now, holy cow. Game of Thrones. I'd have to think about a favorite character. It'd take me a while. I like them all. I mean, you know, I like them all. I dislike them all. You know what I'm saying? Like the good guys I really, really like, and the bad guys I really, really dislike, but that's because the acting's so good and the story's so well written. So it'd take me a while to come up with my favorite one of those. Hey, what you doing, Epic Zombie Killer? I was just giving you a shout out earlier, man. So tell everybody hey. And yeah, so Epic Zombie Killer just joined. He's one of the ones I was shouting out earlier. So he's here. If you're a fan of The Walking Dead, horror movies, you know, that kind of stuff, he's your man to go to. See if I've missed anything. I'm a little behind on here. Again, I'm not used to this. Oh, Dale, are you still on here, man? How's the Giants and Eagles game going? I forgot they were playing tonight, to be honest with you. That Dagobah you can get pretty cheap, but it's hard to find one complete. So talk about the Dagobah system. What do you call it? Playset. It's kind of like the Ewok Village. They had one at Dagobah. And yeah, that's pretty hard to get complete now, but you could kind of piece it together like I had to do with those other ones. Eagles are really crushing the Giants. Like, I didn't think the Eagles looked that great from what I've seen. I haven't watched every game of theirs. I think they were much better last year. I would have picked them to beat the Giants, but I wouldn't pick it to be a blowout. I'll tell you who sucks for anybody on here that's football is my Falcons. Holy cow, they suck. They were picked by a lot of people to make it to the playoffs. Some idiots picked them for sorry, I just read Tuma Comics comment. But my Falcons are absolutely atrocious, man. And how can you be that bad when you've got that much talent? A couple of our defensive regulars are hurt, but we could at least put up enough points to beat people with that offense. Anyway. Yeah, Gray, man, you got different football than we do. Yeah, Matt Ryan is not going to take the Falcons to another Super Bowl, in my opinion. He had his one shot. He did good that year, MVP, and then ever since. And a lot of people say, hey, it's the offensive coordinator, and it's a different offense. This is our third year with the new offensive coordinator. If you can't get it right in the third year, man, you're not a professional. Anyway. But sorry to get Tuma Comics. If you haven't noticed yet, he's a nut, dude. He's one of my absolute favorite channels to go to when I need a laugh and about comics. He knows his stuff about comics. He's a big Hulk fan, so it's not all just being silly. But the other day he told me, when people ask me how I'm doing, I always say better than Glenn, referring to Glenn from The Walking Dead, who got his head bashed in and his eye popped out. So, hey, Christian Griot! Yeah, you need to get rid of Matty Ice off your team, dude. He needs to go. It's not going to get any better, I don't think. He's got the best wide receiver in football, arguably. You could throw Antonio Brown in there. And then the new one from Alabama. Two from Alabama. What's the new one? He's shorter, but he's really, really good. When you got those two and you can't put up enough points to beat people, dude, I'm not saying you don't have to have a defense, but their defense with what they have should at least be middle of the pack. Middle of the pack. I'm not expecting them to be the number one rated defense. But anyway. West Ham United. Now you're talking about soccer, and I don't know enough. Ridley! You're right. Dude, he's a stud. We only score 14 points. With those two, now y'all talking soccer, and that's where I get a little lost. Anybody else got any recommendations on comic books that you're into? This is not as good as I thought it was going to be. Beneath the Dark Crystal, the Power of the Dark Crystal was really good. This, nah. I got the original Dark Crystal the other day. Two comic miniseries from the movie. Elric again. Get Elric. That's a very, what do you call them? Variant. Cover C. I hardly ever get a cover C. Hey, Brian, you're the one I think that said EC Comics the other day. They do not get enough love. Are they still putting out new stuff, or are they just reprinting old stuff? So, Epic Zombie Killer, are you caught up now? I just got caught up. I just read, 184 of The Walking Dead? These are really good, by the way. United States versus Murder, Inc. Got a female hitwoman. This was a good miniseries. I'm really into Venom lately. First Host was good. Great covers, too. Favorite Star Wars movie is the very first Star Wars, because that'll always be the one that got me into Star Wars. I'm not a big fan of anything other than the first three. I'll watch the others. I'm not like a Star Wars snob where it's the first three and nothing else. But I don't watch it with the same fascination as I do with Star Wars. It's just, it's one of those things like He-Man and, G.I. Joe. It was from my childhood. It was fresh. It was new. And I don't like the way they did Star Wars back in the day. There was a lot of imagination and a lot of new things being done. Now it's all computerized, and I'm not knocking it, but it doesn't have that same feel to me as the first three Star Wars movies. So, yeah, a lot of people will always say Empire. Oh, you've seen so the Venom movie was good. I'm hoping to see that this weekend. I've not seen Constantine animated movie. I've not seen that. You do not. Dude, if you say Flash Gordon over Star Wars, now I love Flash Gordon, but it's not on par with Star Wars. Yeah. I mean, you got a point, DJ. It's just, when you grew up with those first three and there's the big gap between that and the next ones, it just, to me, it sets apart those first three as being more, I don't know what the word is, magical. It reminds you of when you were young and just how blown away you were the first time you saw those movies. Yeah, I'm stoked, man. I really want to see Venom. Let's see. Let me get caught up. Yeah, so you're caught up on The Walking Dead, Epic Zombie Killer. I have the first 3 compendiums because I was late to the comic book game with that movie. So I was really far behind. So I picked up the 3 compendiums that got me caught up and then started doing trades because the compendium 4 won't be out till next year. And now I'm doing the single comics now that I'm caught up. I like Pirates of the Caribbean #1. After that, I kind of lose interest in it. But I thought #1 was really, really cool. And yeah, but why are you shocked Venom's getting good reviews? They got a decent lead character this time. Oh, well, Hardy. Yeah, I have Walrus Man, to my comics. You remember Snaggletooth, the little guy? There's a regular Snaggletooth, and then there's an error Snaggletooth. Some of you may know what I'm talking about better than I do. But the regular Snaggletooth, you could get for about 10 or 12 bucks. But there's one Snaggletooth that's going for like crazy money. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I like Flash Gordon. I just can't put it up with Star Wars. That's me, though. I'll tell you a movie that I saw in a theater that I've always liked, and that's Big Trouble in Little China. So that's one of those movies that I continue to love today that I remember seeing when I was younger. When that come out? 87, maybe? 86? Somewhere in there. And we had this little rinky-dink theater in my town that you would go to, and I saw it there. And it was like 6 people in there. And that was a crowd for that theater. Jack Burton, that's right. One of my favorite characters and one of my favorite actors, too. The Pork Chop Express. That's right, baby. Let's see. Sony usually sucks with Marvel movies. Yeah. They've had some duds. Don't get me wrong. I didn't enjoy, and I might get yelled at for this. I didn't enjoy Age of Ultron. I didn't enjoy that one. So, yeah, Carpenter was on a roll, man. Carpenter was killing it. Those, if you collect vinyl, and if you get those John Carpenter vinyl, if you get them when they first come out, 25, 35 bucks. As soon as they sell out, they're like $100, man. The soundtracks to his movies. The Thing is my favorite movie that I have on Laserdisc. Besides, I think I did a top 10 list. Sorry, it's not the best, but it's in the top 3. I can't remember if it's 3 or 2 now. It took me forever to decide on those. They Live was great. That's one people tend to forget about. Y'all remember the original Fly? Jeff Goldblum? Yeah, man. If you come across a John Carpenter soundtrack somewhere, like in a used shop for under $30, grab it. Yep. The Thing was so psychological too. The whole who's, I won't say infected. It was a parasite, but who's real and who's been attacked by the parasite. Who's really them and who's not. That whole psychological horror that was going on in that movie. Spaceballs was awesome. I've not seen that on Laserdisc, and I'm sure it is. I haven't seen it. The House. Do you remember The People Under the Stairs too? Yes, I did see the shout out, man. You did great, and I appreciate it, Epic Zombie Killer. You're my boy. All of you. You're my peoples. Wes Craven was killing it. Hellraiser's my all-time favorite horror franchise. Try picking that up on Laserdisc. Even VHS is ridiculous, but Laserdisc for any Wes Craven movie is ridiculous. Hey, Comic Geek McD. Yeah, you're right, Gray Man. You watched The Thing all the way through. It's another one of those movies that comes on late at night that I always watch. It's an older movie, The Andromeda Strain. I think it was either late 60s, early 70s. I think it was a Michael Crichton book. I think it was Michael Crichton's first book. But that movie, no matter what part it's in, no matter how late at night it is, if I'm just up and getting a bowl of cereal or water or snack or whatever, if I turn the TV around and I see that, I'm up for a while. Good, man. How you doing, Comic Geek McD? My favorite character in The Walking Dead? That's kind of like I have probably a favorite good guy, favorite bad guy. If we're talking about, I really liked Herschel, but he's dead. So if we're talking about just who's still alive, I guess I'd probably have to go with Daryl. And then bad guy, my favorite bad guy, he's dead, of course, was the governor. I know most people say Negan for bad guys, but I really enjoyed the governor. And what's weird is I mostly enjoy the comic book over the TV show, except for the governor. I thought they handled the governor better on the TV show than the comic. Hellraiser did scare me too, man, Jason. Dude, Brian, you will hear me talk about the 80s a lot. Whether it's the 80s music, scary movies. To me, it was just the decade for the best of all that stuff. I'm not saying wasn't anything good after. I'm just saying for a decade, dude, you can't match the 80s for quality music and movies and horror and everything that come out in the 80s. Rollerball's good. You know, Andrea in the comic books lasts longer. Not sexually. She lives longer in the comic book. I'm good, Comic Geek man. How you been? Do you got any cool new stuff? By the way, is your new comic book day the same day there that it is here? Here it's Wednesdays. So I have Kroll #1 comic book on my wall framed. And I have the DVD and the VHS, and I'm looking for the Laserdisc. You cannot beat Kroll. I love Kroll. I love the Dark Crystal. We could be here all night, man, me talking about movies from the 80s that I love. Reanimator. Yeah, I think they rushed the story of the governor in the comic book too fast. Like in the comic book, it's not even really that long of a story arc. But on the TV show, they kind of drug it out. Unlike Negan, which I thought they drug out far too long, I think they did a real good job on the governor, keeping you interested. To me, there was a lot more suspense with that than there was with Negan. You knew with Negan, somebody's going to die, and there's going to be a war and all that stuff. But with the governor, remember when they tried to make peace, meeting at that house, the governor and Rick. So it's every Wednesday there too. That's awesome. Comic Geek, I would tell you a lot of people I know got off The Walking Dead. But I think if you go and watch episode 1 that just came out last week, it might pique your interest to get back into it. It may not. It did me. I had Walking Dead fatigue, needed a break. And then to have the new episode, you didn't see Negan anywhere in the new episode. He's still around in jail. But you don't see him, so you get a break from that. It's all like they're resetting the whole series, and I thought it was well done. Negan was too over the top, in my opinion, especially on the TV show. Is that a YouTube site, Jason? Adventures in Poor Taste? Yeah, it was just overdone. He was so good in the comic book. I thought the TV show, which they changed the showrunner. It's produced by a totally different person now, a lady. I can't remember her name. But the biggest mistake they made was killing off Carl. Because if you read the comic books, Carl is an important part of the Whisperer War, which is going to be the next big story arc, right? I won't get into too much so I don't spoil it for people who want to get caught up, who aren't. But I think most people know Carl's dead, but in the comic books he's still alive, and he plays a very important role in the comic books from here on out. And so killing him off was a big mistake. And they just overdid it with Negan. It's just too much. Oh, you talking about when Glenn was underneath the other guy, Tuma Comics? Yeah. It's a regular website. I did like your review. I think I left you a comment, didn't I? I did like your review of the season opener of The Walking Dead. Gray Man, if you follow the comics and then you watch the show, because you know the comics are ahead of the show pretty, not too far now, because they're going to jump ahead in the TV show. But if you read the comics and then watch the show, you're like, why did they do that? Like, because you know what's going to happen in the comic. And in the comic, you're like, oh man, that's pretty cool, storyline. And then they kill off one of the characters that's still in the comic book storyline. You're like, well, what are they going to do now? And it doesn't make any sense sometimes in the TV show. It gets me, man. Salem's Lot was a really good movie. Do you remember The Exorcist when her head spun around? I was a little kid when that came out, and my mom let me watch it with her. And my dad wouldn't let me watch horror movies, but he was asleep. But when her head spun around, I started screaming, woke my dad up. He came running in to see what was wrong. And man, it was a good little argument between my mom and dad about her letting me watch The Exorcist. It scared me out of my mind, dude. Hey, thanks for stopping in, Comic Geek McD. Love your channel, and thanks for popping in. Oh my God, favorite corner song? Y'all hit me with some hard questions, man. Die by My Hand. Masked Jackal. Ty. Which one still freaks you out, DJ? Salem's Lot or The Exorcist? Reborn Through Hate is a great song too. It would be my top 5 probably too. Dude, this is kind of fun when a lot of people are on here. Yeah, The Exorcist, dude. I can watch it now and kind of laugh because, when that happened when I was a kid, now it seems, with all the technology in movies now, it kind of seems cheesy the way her head turns around when you go back and watch it. But back when it came out, you didn't have all the crazy special effects. That literally made my spine crawl out, dude. Hey, Knights of Old, where you been? I liked the Grin album. I thought it was experimental. It was a different direction for him, but I really, really enjoyed Grin. I'd have to go Dragon Slayer. Yeah, I agree with you. Carl should have lived. Carl should have lived at least through the next storyline. And now you're losing. I won't say. I don't want to give away any spoilers for anybody who might want to get back into it, but they've made some bad decisions recently. Yeah, it was definitely a departure, which I think they started on Mental Vortex. You could kind of see them, to me, kind of experimenting more, and then they fully evolved with Grin, in my opinion. I won't, Travis, I won't say I've desensitized myself, but it takes a lot to scare me now. Like, for some people that don't watch a lot of horror, if they went and watched The Nun, they would probably have been scared. But jump scares, I just know it's coming, it's got to be a movie that, and I like better now when it's more psychological horror. You can't figure out what's going on until the very end, and in your mind, you're trying to figure it out. Because jump scares and things like that don't really work for me as much as they used to. Oh, yeah, I collect a lot of 80s LPs, man. Yeah. You should also, my buddy DJ High Noon does a lot of 80s, and then Travis Lyricist 17. He's into bands that are bringing back synth rock. I hope that's correct. He got me into a band or two that are kind of going back and bringing back some of that synth from the 80s. Fear the Walking Dead, I like it. It's not as good as most of the regular Walking Dead, but it's not the worst show around. I think it's pretty good. Jacob's Ladder is a great example of psychological horror. That is one of the best psychological horror movies ever made. And I couldn't agree more. That's probably one of the best examples I could have. Magic Dance. That's who Travis got me into. And I will probably pick out. If you please remind me, I'm sure I'll see your video, but when that comes out, let me know. I want to catch the new one. I really enjoy the one you got me into. Yeah, the Saw movies though, just they're not redundant, but I don't know, because there's a lot of imagination put into how they come up with these death traps in the movies, but I don't know. It's just over time, it's kind of wore out its appeal, you know. The first like 2 or 3, I thought were great. Yeah, Jason, that's why you do not see me get a lot of punk records unless they're reissues because of the price. I'm getting a little bit away from vinyl just because it's gone up. I'm still going to get it. Vinyl records. I still want to get some 80s. I still want to get some 80s thrash and stuff. But it's going to have to come down, or I'm going to have to find a really good deal before I do it. So now I'm buying some CDs. But I'm not totally away from vinyl. It's just it's going to have to be in my budget, or I'm not going to get it. I don't think. Have I seen The Sentinel? I don't know if I've seen The Sentinel. I do not have a shop around me. I live in Northeast Georgia. So, no, I'm not a gamer unless we're talking about Atari, the original Nintendo, or the PS1. I have those 3 and a few games for those. I am not good at the newer games. You have to do too much, and it's too fast paced for me. So I like games in which you have more time and it's not as complicated, especially with the controllers. Yeah, Harper Records, hard to find around me. I can tell you that. I think they're pretty hard to find on eBay. I don't know about Discogs. I don't think I've ever looked for Harper Records on Discogs. Jason, you're in the perfect spot for hardcore records. I would like to get a copy while you're asking. If you see a cheap copy of older Budweiser by Gang Green, I have it on cassette. I would love to have that on vinyl. I have, I can't remember the name of it. The one where the guy's kind of up in the air on the cover, but I can't think of it. But yeah. Hey, I have token entry. I have token entry on the list. I'm also looking for Slapshot. Yeah, Tang Records. They had Gang Green. I don't think every record was on Tang, but some. Wrath. Oh gosh, that's an old school thrash metal. Yeah, Wrath. I Ain't One Before You is not the album, but it is one I do not have. What is the Vectrex? I don't know what the Vectrex is. Yeah, I Ain't One Before You is a great album. I have it on CD. I would like to get it on vinyl, but I would rather have the older Budweiser a little bit more. You saw Slapshot live? Never got a chance to, so I'm jealous. Oh, the Vectrex was the old game tabletop video. I don't remember that. I had the original Pong, where it was 2 pads, 2 controllers with a knob. That's all you had? I had that. I had the original and ColecoVision and Atari. Vectrex. Is the Vectrex, was that a U.S. Company that released that? Because I do not remember that at all. I kind of know a lot of stuff about the 80s, but not everything. And I've not heard of that. Not doubting you at all. I just, it sounds cool, and I'd like to know about it. You saw Slapshot is still playing? Stephen King's Christine is an outstanding movie. The only Stephen King movie I've seen that I just really hated was Cujo. Yeah, television, man. The Coleco. Yep. Malai Rage, I have. So that's another. It was rare because most of your Boston, Massachusetts band were hardcore, and they didn't do a lot of thrash. And they had Malai Rage came out from there. And I have the one with the skull with. I can't believe I'm forgetting the names of stuff, but the skull with the Indian headdress. I will look that up. Can you still find those in good condition? Not so old, the Vectrex. What is the Malai Rage? Man. I can't remember. I'm going to be 44 this year. And I swear, in the last 2 to 3 years, my memory has went from like really, really sharp to suck. And I can't believe it. Yeah, we have in Atlanta, well, they just moved it to, I don't know if you've ever heard of Stone Mountain. It's the big mountain we have southeast of Atlanta, where the generals, the Confederate generals, they just moved the haunted house there. It's a really big draw. They change the theme every year. I can't remember the name of it, Terror or something, but it's really, really great. Kill to Survive. That's the Malai Rage I have. Yeah, the Plymouth Fury. If you can find one, man, hook it up. Does that, hey Jason, does that Slapshot, do you know if it's on vinyl? If not, I'll get it on CD. But if it just came out, it should be pretty reasonably priced. Sheer Terror is a great band. One of those early grindcore death metal type. Okay. All right. I'll pick that. I will look for that Slapshot. No. Well, they change the theme every year. When I went, it was Walking Dead themed. The year before that, it was like a haunted hospital. So they had nurses and doctors and stuff. So it was like a haunted hospital. Then it was, they couldn't do the Walking Dead, name it anything like the Walking Dead, or they'd got in trouble for copyright. But it was like the Walking Dead. It even had the jail. And then I can't remember the other theme. I've been to 2. So I don't know what the theme would be. But if it's at Stone Mountain, it'd be cool if it was a Civil War theme. That would make sense. Bridge 9, that's who's doing the Agnostic Front reissues too. They sound pretty good. I did hear Make America Hate Again. There's a single, I think, that they put out. I think I heard that on YouTube. Hey, Groovy Movie, where have you been, dude? Everybody, subscribe to Groovy Movie too. Cool cat. He's not been making many videos, though, so I'm going to get on his ass for that. But Madball is just one of those bands that, even though the sound hasn't changed that much, it's still so good that it still sounds fresh. I don't know if that makes sense. You know, you got some bands that change their sound completely over the years, and then Madball hasn't, but to me, that's a great thing. So Groovy Movie. You do have to get back on it, man. Don't be leaving me. Killing Time Brightside I do have on vinyl. It's my second favorite. So if we're going to talk about hardcore, I'm talking about the original New York hardcore scene, like of the 80s. My favorite Cro-Mags. And thanks to, I don't know if he's still here, but What Lurks on Channel X, I have that because it's ridiculous to find and priced high. And then second is Killing Time Brightside, then Sick of It All, Blood, Sweat, No Tears. Hey, thanks for stopping in, Tuma Comics. Thank you. Thank you very much. I can't do it. That's my best. You saw Agnostic Front, Slapshot, and Fear. Wehrmacht. That's a band I hadn't heard in a long time. I can't believe you saw Agnostic Front, Slapshot, and Fear, dude. Are Fear putting out new stuff or is just playing the old stuff, man? I don't know Maximum Penalty or Breakdown. Yeah, they still film The Walking Dead here in Atlanta, in South. So it's still filmed here, even though I think they're in Virginia now, but it's still filmed on the show. It's in Virginia, but it's actually filmed still in Georgia. Faith or Fear, I have Punishment Area. Well, I wish Fear would put out a new album. That would be awesome. Hey, Omaha Introverts here, everybody. If you like vinyl, and if you're a Who fan, especially, subscribe to the Omaha Introvert. Shows really, really cool vinyl. So, again, everybody subscribe to everybody. Some of you like comics. Some of you like movies. Some of you like horror. Some of you like whatever. We can all be friends. I'm intercommunical. I don't know if that's a word. I like blending communities together. More beer. Hell yeah. You're welcome. Thanks for stopping in. Gorilla Biscuits. I want to get, what's their big album? Gorilla Biscuits. Does that start today? Yeah, I think Faith or Fear are really, really underrated. Yeah. Start Today, I want to get from Gorilla Biscuit. I don't know much about the rest of their catalog. I've heard that. I don't think I ever had it, but I think friends of mine had it. Between the Walking Dead TV universe and the comic universe, which do you prefer? I would have to go comic, just because it makes more sense. It's not over the top like the TV show, and I think the TV show has made changes to the storyline that the comic book gets right, if that makes sense. Yes. Hey, DJ High Noon, as always, brother. It's glad to have you here, man. Got to work on the PC, then got to crash. Peace, everybody. Peace, brother. MOD's a great band. I have USA for MOD, Gross Misconduct, and the real goofy one with the it's like a beach record parody. Oh man, MOD and ST and 88, 89 would have been a great show, man. I'm not as big on Biohazard as a lot of people. Surfing MOD, I have that too. Yeah, that's it. Yep. What's everybody's, if you're into comics, what's your favorite comic so far this year? Story arc, single issue, whatever. And if you're into music, what's your favorite album so far through October 2018? My favorite comic so far is probably A Walk Through Hell. And my favorite album so far this year is probably Ancient Empire. Hey, good night, buddy. Appreciate you stopping by, Chris. What Lurks on Channel X? That's Chris. Good guy. Good night, buddy. Restraining Order EP. Is that Biohazard? I remember Inside Out. I don't know that I've heard them though. Oh, so okay, so Restraining Order is the band and the name of the EP. That's your favorite album of the year. Restraining Order. I'm gonna check that out. I know you love that, Travis. I know you love that Malignant Force. I don't remember Northern Chaos Gods, but I know you've talked about Malignant Force, and it is great. You don't know anything new, Knights of Old? Comics or music? I think it's been a really, really good year for both so far, especially for a return to old school thrash and music and a return to really, really good storylines in comics, if that makes sense. Merciful Fate are awesome. Yes. How does someone listen to your podcast, Gray Man? Inside Out was the hardcore band of the Singer of Rage. Oh, I didn't know that. So were they? So they were. He was in a hardcore band before Rage Against the Machine. I didn't know that. I don't know Armory, but I will check them out. Are they a newer band or what, Gray Man? Okay. Yeah, man. I can't tell you how much I dig Ancient Empire, Travis. I've got 3 of their albums now, and absolutely every one of them fantastic. Just a return to solid heavy metal, maybe bordering on power metal, but just really, really great stuff. Great vocals, great guitar, great solos, great lyrics, just everything. Ancient Empire is a really great band. New latest album free on Bandcamp. Oh, is that for the Armory? And it's free? If it's free, it's for me. I'll check that out. I have Shadow Killers. I think What Lurks on Channel X. No. Who sent me that? No. Julian Lopez sent me Shadow Killers. Yeah, you're right. Same vein, really good. I like Ancient Empire a little bit better, but Shadow Killers is a good band too. I do not know Under the Church. Are they new or old or I don't know them. These are the. If you haven't watched my video from today, I'll save you the trouble. I got some new cameras up here. I got some new single issues from a pull list, but in the last week I've gotten 2 Grails. I've got Man Bat number 1, 7.0. Love Man Bat, by the way, the old Batman villain. Sometimes good guy. And I got Walking Dead 144, I think. Yeah. This has the deaths of 12 characters, 3 of which I would call main characters. So if you're into comic speculation, or if you just like The Walking Dead, this is a great one to get. Let me get caught up. Reverend Horton Heat. I think he's from Georgia. I remember reading about him back in the day in the not local newspaper, the Atlanta Journal, the big newspaper for Georgia. And they would have a concerts section. And it seemed like every 3rd or 4th newspaper that they had him playing somewhere in Atlanta. How do I feel about grading comics? I think it's too expensive. And I'm not. Some people do it for comic book speculation. So they'll buy a comic book that they think is going to go up in price. Of course, if it's graded and slabbed, it'll be worth more. But I get it for the stories mainly. It's kind of like vinyl records. I have grails. I don't mind buying graded grails. I don't send mine off to be graded. But I'll buy a comic that's graded for the right price, kind of like the vinyl. So like this, the Walking Dead's graded. I already have the story, so it's not like I need to read the story. So it's okay that it's encased and I can't take it out. But I didn't buy it because I think it's going to go up. I do think it's going to go up, and I think people who speculate in comics do buy comics to sell later to make a profit. I think this is one that will do that. But I'm going to keep this because it's one of my favorite stories in The Walking Dead. So it's kind of like comics. The only difference is, of course, vinyl's not encased. But I will handle my Grail vinyl a little bit easier than I will some of my other records, if that makes sense. So, hey, Pages Film and Plastics, I shouted you out earlier. If you go back and watch, sorry, I forgot the third part. So I was like Pages Films and well, I think I said Pages Plastics and I screwed it up. But for everybody that's still here, Pages Films and Plastics are now in chat. So great channel. So subscribe. Jake! Sorry, I'm doing a shout out for Dolphin Dale's kitty cat, who's awesome. Jake! I know, man. I screwed the name up. I apologize. I don't want you to go back and maybe watch this from the beginning to hear your shout out and be like, oh, he screwed my name up. I got close, and I was corrected by someone. I think it was Metarog, maybe. So thank Metarog, because I was like, oh, I kind of did this on the cuff. I didn't really have a plan going in. I was going to come on for like 2 minutes, give a few shout outs, and leave. And then, dude, this is awesome. I've had all kinds of people coming in and out. So yeah, I hope that makes sense about grading. Like, it's not a big deal. I'm not going to get all my comics that I think are going to be worth money graded, just certain ones. But like, I have this Man Bat, number one. I have it. It's what they call a reader's copy. It's not in good shape. But what's cool about it is I don't have to worry about the value. It's not in a good shape. So if I ever want to go back and read the story, I can go back and read it. But then I have this one, you know, that's taken care of. I don't have to worry about spilling anything on it or one of my 5 dogs eating it. So I think it's cool, you know. But it's not as important to me having comics graded as some people. I'm not knocking people who do grade a lot of their comics. I can't afford it. By the time you mail it off, get it graded, get it back, you have to pay return shipping. Shit, it's like $40, $50 a comic. I'm not going to do that. Oh, man, you're cool, man. I love your channel, brother. So, yeah, like I say, everybody in here is cool people. Like, everybody's got their thing, you know, like Jason. He has all kinds of music, but to me, when I think of him, I think of hardcore. Dolphin Dale, I think of his cat Jake, and I think about I'm gonna mess this name up. Help me out, Dolphin Dale. Russ Taff, the guy you just saw at the not the Ryman, the Opry. Is that right? So yeah, everybody's got their thing, man. The Gray Man, great comics, dude. Russ Taff, yes, thank you. So I think all of you, you know, Epic Zombie Killer, I think about The Walking Dead, but there's much more to your channels. And like I say, I would like some of the vinyl people to check out some of the comic channels and some of the comic channels to check out some of the vinyl channels, because most people I know that read comics are into music. Well, it's not the same with the other. Not everyone I know that's into vinyl is into comics, but there's enough. There's a few of us. So the Grand Ole Opry, that's right. So like Dolphin Dale, he's big into Russ Taff. I don't know much about him, so I learn a lot from him about him because he's so into him. It's the same way with all of your channels, man. I learn a lot from each one of you about either music or comics I'm not familiar with, and it helps me, especially if you're talking about a genre of music I'm not that familiar with, or comics that I never really got into. And it's got me into a lot more comics that I didn't think about before. Yeah, I've seen Gray Man do vinyl too. I should have mentioned that. Old demo tapes, I haven't seen that, but I would like to see it. Yeah, you're right, man. With the thing about it is, if your one hobby, Jason, is vinyl and you're spending a lot of money, it's hard for you to get into something else, and I understand that completely. If you'll notice, before I got into comics in the last 6 months or so, I used to be into them, For those of you that don't know, I was really into comics for about 2 or 3 years, late 80s, early 90s. Got away from it. In the last 6 months, I've really gotten back into it. So you see less vinyl because I'm having to split the money. So I'm buying more CDs because they cost less, and being really, really picky about my vinyl and buying comics as well. So. Yeah, Dale, you're right. Some of those TV shows, the animated TV shows, are really good too. If you can find them on DVD, like season 1 or whatever, usually you can find those pretty cheap. Wait, I'm trying to think. What is MTG? I'm probably going to sound stupid. Into MTG. I'm reading the post from Lyricide 17, and I don't know what MTG is because I don't know. How was it? Looked like you had a good time, man. I think Dolphin Dale, I think you had your picture taken with him, if I'm not mistaken, from Facebook. Looks like it was hot in there. He looked like Russ Taff looked like he was like sweated all the way down to like here. Like it's like me walking out to my truck in the summer. Magic the Gathering. Okay, thank you. I know a lot of people, and I've not been big into those type games. I've done some. There's a Star Wars one that my friend does. But I know a lot of people put a lot of money into those games, dude. Like there's like different sets. You know what I'm talking about. Those could be money too. Hey, Pages Films. I wish I knew your real name. Pages Films and Plastics. I'd love for you one day, if you get a chance, to show the vinyls you do have. It'd be cool. Yeah, Dan. I mean, Dale, he looked like he was absolutely sweated out, dude. Hey, I did notice that on Facebook, Jason, that you had given that up, and I meant to say, if I haven't, I can't remember if I have or I haven't, but good job on those, man. I'm proud of you. Star Wars, yeah, okay. So the Star Wars game, you know what I'm talking about. I've played it. Avulsion, I don't have anything by. I think I've heard of them, but I don't know much about them. If I have, so really not that much. You got to talk to him the next day. Was it you like? Did you meet him the next day after the show? Dolphin Dale. I have not heard the Biohazard Punisher song, but if it's about the Punisher in the comic books, I have to check it out. Name favorite songs about comics. Well, I Am the Law by Anthrax, about Judge Dredd. And probably Megadeth, Holy Wars, The Punishment Due. The Punishment Due is loosely based on The Punisher. So the first part, if you're not familiar, the first part of Holy Wars, he was writing about the conflict in Northern Ireland at the time between the Catholics and the Protestants. And then part 2 was loosely based on the Punisher comic book. So those two. Iron Man by, Sabbath, yep. I did a superhero themed show in the middle. I got to check out your podcast, man. Yeah, get into it is a good resolution, man. He did concerts on both days. The second day was a brunch and concert. Did you eat with him? Like did he eat brunch with you? Like whoever was there or what? I do not know the Runamucks. Speaking of DRI like bands, do you remember from they were big friends with Corrosion of Conformity when Corrosion of Conformity was punk / crossover in the 80s. The Ugly Americans. Does anybody remember that band? I had their cassette. I can't remember the name of it again, but Batman Says Be Cool. Did anyone get the I Win You Lose is a great song. Did anyone get the Batman Damned with his penis showing? I had no idea about that. I would have bought it anyway. But I bought the Batman Damned at my local comic book shop, and it was before they censored it. And those things are going for like $75 now because there's Batman's penis in Batman Damned. Grave Huffer. I don't know them either. Not brunch together, though I did eat with his keyboard player and his wife. Oh, that's cool. Hey, my boy Black Star Vinyl's in here. Another great channel for vinyl. If you're not subscribed, go to Black Star Vinyl right there. Great guy. Yeah, TV Casualty's a great song. I do not remember it mentioned no more, but I'm not surprised. Yeah, like I said, I bought it. I had no idea about Batman's penis being in the comic book. Bought it, and then I went online a few days. And to be honest with you, I'm not that impressed with it, although I'm going to give it a chance. And by the second comic, hopefully will explain a little bit more what's going on in the first comic, why some of the people are there, and you know, I know the overall premise, but it just loses me in there. So I'm going to buy Batman Damned too, but if it's still incoherent, then I'm probably not going to worry about the third one. But yeah, I went on after buying that Batman Damned to see what other people thought of it, and the people were talking about how much up in price it's gone. And a week ago, that thing was like $75 to $100. I can't believe somebody paid $1,000 for it. It's ridiculous, just because of that one penis. You know, Dolphin Dale, that's really, really cool because he looked absolutely drained. But the fact that he stayed around to talk to you and sign and talk to other people, that says a lot about him. So that's really, really cool. There's nothing worse than waiting around for a band or an artist, and they walk right by you, you know. And I've been at metal shows where there's only like 2 or 3 of us, and they've walked right by me, got on the bus, and you don't see them again. So that's real cool that he did that. There's a new comic. It's a bigger comic. It's a 3-part series. It's called Batman Damned, and it's on the Black Label, which is now the DC mature imprint. So they're going to put out more mature related comic books. So I guess in an effort to show Batman like vulnerable, they show him naked, and yeah, it shows his wanker. So. Did you get the Batman Damned with the penis pages, films, and plastics, or did you get the censored? What are we talking about? The first 2 maidens. Oh, sorry, I'm old. I have to move around. Yeah, Russ looks like, you know, especially him hanging out like that. That means a lot when an artist you really, really are into does that. An artist that did that for me is Shane McGowan from the Pogues. He came to Atlanta back in 1995, and he was drunk. He was out of his mind, which is normal. Shane McGowan, that's his baseline. He stayed around and signed stuff for me. I still have it. I had a big poster. He signed it, Moron, and drew a third eye. The poster is a poster of him, and he drew a third eye on himself and wrote Moron and signed it. And he signed some other stuff, and it meant a lot to me because I really, really was a huge Shane McGowan fan. Oh, I didn't see the favorite maiden. Well, that's a good question, though. But mine's got to be Number of the Beast. Absolutely dig it. Number of the Beast. And then second would be Seventh Son. Third, Power Slave. Then after that, it gets a little tricky. The Debut. My least favorite's Killers. That helps. But anyway. Did he have one tooth? Oh, you talking about Shane McGowan? He had one here, and then his back. But I don't know if you've seen him lately, but he went ahead and finally had the full dental implants put in. So he has a full mouth now. His grill is complete. Oh, no, you didn't. I'm sorry, man. I can't get into Killers. I want to like it. And I dig the debut, but I can't get into it as much. Look, everybody's like Killers rules. If it rules to you, that's great, man. It's not as good to me. I mean, there's great songs on it. Wrathchild's great. Everybody's like Killers. What if we all agreed? It would be boring. You know what I'm saying? And what were you saying, Gray Man, about the reissues of Batman Damned? You were saying something about it, and now it's gone. I'm now an abomination. Oh, the cover's sweet, dude. I love the cover. There's nothing better than buying Iron Maiden albums, but also those singles, which I bought a lot of the who redid those a couple of years ago. Somebody put out all the Iron Maiden 70s and 80s 7-inch reissues. The covers to those, man. I didn't need those 7 inches. I've got the albums, but to collect all those 7-inch covers was sweet, man. They are just in a different world when it comes to album covers. Where do I stop with Metallica and Justice for All? I won't go past it. I hate the Black Album. I especially hate Load and Reload. I hate with a passion Saint Anger. The last two albums I don't hate as much, but they're not Metallica. They're good for whatever Metallica is now. I wouldn't buy them. That's me. I think the 7-inch singles are definitely a lot more clear than the 12-inch Maiden reissues. They're a little bit, I don't know if it's because it was done digital or what, but once you expand the image out, I think you lose a little bit of clarity on the reissues. But those 7 inches look sweet. Paul Di'Anno, I do like. I just didn't like Killers. Wavy Bulldog! There's a new person here, Wavy Bulldog. What's up, Wavy Bulldog? Welcome. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people love the Black Album. It's considered, a lot of people put it in their top, 20 albums, heavy metal albums of all time. I bought it, put it on, and immediately threw it away. I gave it one good solid listen all the way through. And this was a cassette. This back in the day when I was still doing cassettes. Me and a buddy of mine went and threw them away. I thought maybe it's just the one album. They're just trying to get and need some money, whatever. But it just continued to get worse. So I've lost all interest in them. Wavy Bulldog, what are you into? Comics? Music? What's something else? Tell us about you. Because I am not familiar with Wavy Bulldog, but I'm glad you're here. Yeah. The Black Album lost me too, man. Is input? How do you say that? I've seen people show Imperial. I can't say it. Dolphin Dale. Tell us about Imperial. I don't know. I've seen people show it, but I don't know how to say it, and I don't have any of the music. Oh, okay. Well, welcome aboard, Wavy Bulldog. I talk about comics. I talk about heavy metal. Talk about vinyl records, CDs, cassettes, the 80s, a little bit of everything, man. I got lots of cool friends in here. Some are into music, some are into comics, some are into both, some are into horror. It's great, man. It's great to have friends from different genres, different communities. Hey, dude, 1973, Chris is here. Another cool cat. He shows on his channel mostly CDs, and he shows a lot of metal, but different genres as well. He likes some blues influenced country, like Marshall Tucker Band, some other bands that I'm into as well. So check his channel out as well. I I talk about the 90s, not as much as the 80s. Musically, I got a little lost in the 90s because it kind of killed metal for a while. And also, I started collecting comics around 88, 89. Got out of it about 92 and haven't gotten back into it until recently, about 6, 7 months ago. Yeah, I can't do new metal. I don't get into that. Korn had some decent tunes, but for the most part, new metal lost me. I'm so glad thrash came back. I'm so glad. Yeah, I do like. If we're talking about 90s music, I do like. It's going to sound kind of weird, but I like the Verve Pipe. I don't know if you can hear it. Can y'all hear my boxer snoring? Hold on. I don't know if you heard that, but he's snoring. Yeah, but yeah, I got kind of lost in the 90s, so it's a mixed bag. But the Verve Pipe I liked. And there was a few bands, I like Nirvana's first album more than the second. Warbringer, love. I've seen them live 3 times. I have 3 of their albums. I do like Hatchet. Did they just release a new one? I've seen something for them on YouTube recently. I don't know if it was a new album. But they're part of that. I think they're part of that new wave of thrash that's coming out. Is it worth picking up? Okay, so you can hear my dog snoring. Okay, that's my doggy. I'm going to turn around and let you see my doggy snoring. Now he's awake. But that's who's snoring. Yeah, I will check out Hatchet too. I've seen something from them, and I might have listened to them, but it's been so long I've forgotten. So, yeah, Warbringer. I have a 7-inch from them. They do a cover of Motorhead on it that just absolutely kills. Living Weapon is the 7-inch. Check it out. Havoc Rock. Love Havoc. Exodus. I only like my Exodus with Zetro Souza as singing. A lot of people like the Killer Dwarfs in the vinyl community that I'm a part of as well, but I can't get into them. Violator's great. Ultraviolence I know of, but I haven't heard. Evil are great. I don't know why they're not bigger. Acid Rain, another good one. New Tourniquet. Are they really putting? I didn't know Tourniquet was putting out an album. Gamma Bomb's releasing a new album. See, I'm so behind on some of these. Violence is one of the best thrash bands of all time, and along with Forbidden, one of the most underrated thrash bands of all time. Ripper Owens really sings on the Tourniquet track. Fight's great. Yes. Dude, God just told me about new releases I had no idea were coming out. You are correct. Forbidden Evil is, I think the follow-up album it's not as good, but it's not far off. It's a different sound, but I absolutely freaking love Twisted in the Form. Mr. Bungle's hard for me to listen to. I can do a little bit of the funk-infused rock and metal, Mr. Bungle, Infectious Grooves, that kind of stuff, but I can't take it for long. I don't know why. Yeah, I finally picked up for Twisted in the Form a few months ago on vinyl, and I listened to it a lot. And I don't know. I was kind of the same way. I was so much into Forbidden Evil, And then I'm talking about back in the day when it first came out. And then I got twisted into form, and I remember listening to it a few times, and then going right back to Forbidden Evil. But now that years have gone by, and I listen to it again, it's like because I didn't wear it out like I did Forbidden Evil, it's new again, and yeah, I dig it a lot more now than I did when it first came out. Dark Angel's a great band. Death Angel's a great band. Dark Angels. Leave Scars is an underrated album. You need to get your dog singing for a drone band. You're correct. Has anybody seen the I don't know what they are, death metal band or pirate metal or whatever, but they have a bird singing, not a parakeet, what is it? But the bird sings. Yeah, you're right. Nothing touches Eternal Nightmare unless we talk about Torture Tactics. It was an EP, but Torture Tactics was supposed to be on Eternal Nightmare. The record company said no way because of the lyrics, and they released it later on as a EP, and it's outstanding, dude. It's a great EP, and it's hard to find on vinyl. I bought it on CD. Mindfunk, boy, the Ultraviolence is great from Death Angel. Mindfunk is another one of those bands that I haven't heard in ages. Yeah, Leave Scars is better than Time Does Not Heal, even though not most people, but most I'm trying to think. There's a magazine that did like the top so many 50 or 100 metal albums all the time. Maybe it was just thrash, but they put Time Does Not Heal in their top 10. All Death Angel's good. I haven't listened to one bad Death Angel album. Killing Season by Death Angel is one of the most underrated thrash albums too. Yeah, you're right. Favorite Slayer album? I gotta go with God, I don't want y'all to get mad at me again. South of Heaven was my intro to Slayer, but yeah, I gotta go with South of Heaven. It's so close for me, but I gotta go with South of Heaven. I really like Act 3. Darkness Descends, classic. I got that on vinyl. Yeah. South of Heaven followed by Rain and Blood for me, but it's so close. I love them both. I don't know. I could go either way. I've done top 10s and stuff, and I've put South of Heaven in there, and I put Rain and Blood in there, and it's just because I don't know. Ask me tomorrow, probably Rain and Blood. I like every Slayer album minus some 90s stuff. Again, the 90s kind of, for metal, is kind of weird. There's some Overkill and some Testament in there and some other metal in the 90s where they tried to change and it just didn't work. And now they've kind of, except for Testament got harder. Testament bordered on death metal for a few albums. Freaking crazy. But yeah, I like all Slayer up through it's weird. I like some of them. What is the one I've got? World Painted Blood. I like it. I don't remember when it came out though. I don't think it was 90s. It was 2000s, I think. Somebody help me on that. Force of Habit should be struck from the record. The album cover and everything. I do not like Opeth. I've tried. I can't get into Opeth. I agree with you on World Painted Blood, man. Like I said, I can't remember what year that came out. But, there was some weak Slayer albums, and then that came out, and I was like, damn, this is pretty good. Especially that song. Yeah, if you ask 10 people about Opeth that are in the metal, 5 will like them, 5 will hate them. I don't know anybody that's like, well, they're okay. It's usually, oh, they're awesome, or, oh, they suck. And yeah, I'm not going to put them down because you like them. If you like it, turn it up. But for me, I just can't get into it. Is the 1993 is when World Pain and Blood came out? Holy cow. I thought it was much later than that. I hate Rob Dukes. I hate Rob Dukes with a passion. I hate his face. I hate his vocals. I hate the arrogant attitude he had when he was in the band and the way he acted when they replaced him. So, yeah, that's just one of those where I'm real passionate. I can't stand Rob Dukes. I'm not that passionate about a lot of people, even the ones I don't like. But Rob Dukes is up there with the... You tell Rob Dukes it's all right, but tell him never, ever, ever sing in a thrash band again. Wait, we got Mega Jeff McCormick in here. Oh, Rock Mac. I'm sorry. Let me make sure I get this right. Rob Douche is exactly right. And we're not talking about Rob Blackstar Vinyl. He's a cool guy. We're talking about Rob Dukes is a douche. Mega Jeff Rock Mac. Welcome. I don't think I've subscribed to you, but I think I saw something today where you sent someone a VCLT. Who was it? Don't tell me. I'm not looking. Oh. Vinyl value. Vinyl value. Value vinyl. Is that who you sent it to? Holy crap. Eric Peterson's here. I haven't seen anything from him in a while either, but I love Eric Peterson. I miss his book hauls. He used to do some really cool book hauls and occasionally do some CDs. So, Life of Agony, who were they before that? They were a band that broke up and some of the members formed Life of Agony. I can't remember, but I did enjoy the first album. I haven't heard it in a very long time. Yeah, I'm a douche too. Yeah, I can't. Another band that I can't get into that some people are into is Machine Head, and a big reason for that is Rob Flynn, and I think they suck anyway. But it makes it worse that Rob Flynn says and does the things that he does. So I'm still laughing about Rob Duke's quality. I do not agree with you, Travis, on the Machine Head, but if you like them, turn it on. Super overrated. Who are you talking about now? Machine Head? Life of Agony had... I want to... Were they another band before Life of Agony and that band broke up and formed Life of Agony? I might be confusing them with another band. You're 100% right about Dukes and Flynn, dude. Maybe they start a band, just call it the Douche Crew and freaking Flynn Head. It has been a while, Eric. I've missed you. I hadn't forgotten about you, and I want you to know that I enjoyed your videos, and I hope that when you find the time and want to do it again, that you'll put some new videos up, man. What did Gray Man say? Rob Dukes and Rob Flynn. Yeah, good team up. I mean it too, man. So whatever you want to put up, music, books, whatever. Those Eagles, are they still killing them? Who do you think would win right now between the Giants and the Falcons? Have to leave for now. See you on another. Hey, thanks for stopping in, man. And like I say, everybody, check out Pages, Films, and Plastics. A little bit of everything on there. Collects a few different things. Probably something on there for you. So check out his channel. Subscribe. Great guy. And thanks for stopping in, brother. You think the Falcons will beat the Giants? I don't know, man. Jeez. Who do you think would win between the Giants and the Browns? I actually would think the Browns would pull that game out. I think the Browns would beat the Falcons. Call me crazy. The Browns have Chubb from the UGA. Yeah, Eli Manning's lost it, man. And then if you try to bench him, oh, he's such a legend, you can't bench him. It's going to be the same way with Matt Ryan in Atlanta. He's going to want to keep playing, and he's going to think that he's, hot shit. And don't get me wrong, Matt's had great seasons, you know what I'm saying? But he's not going to lead this team to the promised land. Eli Manning's not either. But if you try to bench Eli Manning, there's this uproar, and everybody's like, oh, my God, he's such a legend. How are you going to put him on the bench? Same thing with Matt Ryan. When Atlanta drafts a young quarterback and can take over from him, there's going to be such an uproar about, oh, Matt Ryan's been benched. He's a legend. No, I'm sorry. All right, Chris, dude, 1973. Thanks for stopping in, and we won't say a word about you being at work. Travis says, okay, but I don't know what about the Falcons and the Browns. I don't know. I'm just really, really pissed about how bad the Falcons suck. So I'm a Georgia guy. University of Georgia, Atlanta Braves, Atlanta Falcons, Atlanta Hawks, although I don't watch a lot of basketball. I do root for them. The Braves were better than they were supposed to be. The Braves were still supposed to be 2 to 3 years off from making the playoffs. Everybody says they're getting better, but everybody's so young, and they overperformed. So I could take them losing in the first round of the Major League Baseball playoffs, right? I can take that because they overachieved even making it. But the Falcons, to have all this hype and all these supposed great players, to come out and just lay a freaking egg, it just sucks, man. Oh, okay. Hey, thanks for stopping in, Eric. Look forward to seeing something from you. Hopefully soon, but whenever, brother. Daggone, I've been on this thing for an hour and a half, and I plan on doing like a 2 to 3 minute real quick video. You guys rock, man. Again, I love talking to you guys about everything. Football, comics, music, it don't matter, man. Because, again, I can talk to some people about sports around here, but it gets a little tricky with music and comics. So yeah. So I think I'm going to wrap it up and do a few things at the house. And, yeah, but I appreciate all of you for stopping in, dude, and talking with me. It's very, very much appreciated. You guys, there's no gals that I know of, but if there are any, you gals rock. But you guys rock for stopping in and chatting with me for so long. And I had a blast, dude. Thanks so much. Yeah, Dale, at least there's still hope that your Dolphins can turn around. I have no hope for the Falcons now. That's just me. Black Star Vinyl, I'm sure you'll be doing a live video soon, and I will do my best to be there for that one. But again, thanks to everybody. You all rock and support each other. And that's all I can say, man. Take care, everybody. Farley out. I look forward to watching it tomorrow. Bye, everybody. That was for Rob.